MBBS student at GMC Nagpur. Welcome back to my channel. The last time I made a Q&A video, 2 lakh more people have joined and I can't really thank you guys enough. So I feel like the new people who have joined and the old people who are still there from day one should get to know me a little bit better every time that we hit a milestone, so that you guys could know who I am as a person that you listen to on every Sunday at 10 AM through your screens on YouTube. So I actually did a community post on YouTube as well as a story on Instagram, and my assistant has got all the replies categorized into different categories. So I'll be going over them systematically and answering most of the questions that I got. Once again, thank you so much for everything. So it really means a lot. It's just, yeah, that's it. The first category is YouTube. So the question is, what are your negatives at this point in life as an MBBS student as well as a big YouTuber? Well, the first negative is that I don't really find myself enough time for workout, and that causes pot belly. So I'm currently in the middle of a body transformation and I'm working out every day. I'm trying to eat healthy and just trying to live life in a much more productive way physically. So my next major goals would be to have mental and physical and spiritual awakening and have a little bit more consciousness about what I'm doing with my life. So far, that has been the only negative in this journey at this point. As you're approaching your next huge test phase, what are the changes that you are planning to bring to this channel? So that's great. I'm really excited about the next phase of my life, which would be to go and attend internship as well as prepare for NEET PG. So the main changes that you're going to be noticing on the channel is that the channel is going to be much more expanding towards the broader audience phase. It would not just be about studies. I will be expanding from that niche to go into much more general audience direction, because I feel like I have so many different things that I could share which are not in the study niche. So yeah, breaking the study niche and entering the general audience space, that is my next major goal. And you, my friends, have watched that happen from the last 2 months, where I've put out more videos which were made for the general broad audience who were not really med students or NEET aspirants. It was just made for people like watching YouTube for fun. Have you ever faced academic setbacks because of YouTube during MBBS? And yes, if yes, then how did you motivate yourself? Yeah, well, to be honest, I have faced a bit of setbacks during my MBBS journey, and that was particularly during my university exam phase. So university exams are the most important exams of MBBS. They decide whether or not you're going to pass 1 year or not. So I remember during my second years, before my university exams, I remember editing my video. Not exactly before my university, during my universities, before my micro 2 paper, I was just editing a video because it had to go out on a Sunday. It had a sponsor that was Grammarly. So I really wanted all of that to just go out. And that was one of the best videos which I've ever made. It took me near about like 15-16 hours to get that video done. But I did that. I also got a distinction in microbiology, and I was one of the highest scorers in my college. It was not really negative, but I feel like that should not have been there in the first place. The second is, again, in third year MBBS, the same thing happened when I was going to face my ENT paper. I had a video to do, so I had to do that. So yes, definitely there are some times where life gets difficult for me as well, but I try to shake it off and try to balance everything, but usually that is at the cost of me ignoring all the other healthy things. But thankfully, since I've now developed a team, the system is much more efficient, and that hopefully does not happen in final year, because I really can't afford that. The next question is, how did you first edit your videos when you were starting out on YouTube? The first software that I used to start my channel out was Wondershare Filmora. The current version of that software is Wondershare Filmora 11. It is one of the best softwares out there for all the people who are just starting out to learn video editing by themselves. There are several other features which you can use in your videos which can make Wondershare Filmora 11 a great place to begin with. One of the best features is the 115 templates that Wondershare Filmora offers you to edit any type of thing that you want, be it vlog, travel video, intros, etc. Another awesome feature is that Filmora can automatically sync up the videos in your timeline to the audio which you've just added, which makes the feel of the video very cinematic. This auto sync feature is even missing from most of the major softwares out there. Also, instead of doing the hard work by manually removing the background by masking each frame, Wondershare Filmora offers you AI features like background removal or background manipulation, so that you could definitely focus on the subject much more. Another features which I absolutely love about Filmora is the adding subtitles features which is present. You can directly use the speech to text feature in Wondershare Filmora to generate automatic captions for all your videos, and it does that with a fairly accurate rate. You can also edit the subtitles which are just automatically created by just one click, so you don't have to do any of the hard work by typing and listening to frames and everything. So Filmora is an amazing video editing software for all of you guys to try it out. I'm sure you will get the hang of the software within just a few hours of using it, and it's free to try, so click the link in the description below to check it out for yourself and start your own journey of creating. Tell us about your YouTube journey so far. What has it been like, the love and the hate? Well, the YouTube journey has been the most beautiful part of my life ever. I have got to meet so many different subscribers. Just walking around the street, somebody identifies me and just comes up and talks to me and says that, "Bhaiya, your videos motivated me, and sir, please keep uploading, never stop." That just warms my heart, and and that has been the best thing about making these videos. Like, even if one single minute of my video has some effect on somebody, that's huge, because I never ever thought that I would grow up into such a huge channel. Because I just started out as a student who was just making videos just for fun. I still do make it just for fun, obviously, but it really means a lot to me that whatever I make really has an effect on the real world. The hate part, I have never ever received hate on YouTube for anything. Basically, most of my videos are not at all controversial, they're pretty straightforward. But there were times where I actually did feel like quitting. There was a group of people who was trying to bully me back in 2020, and I really felt like I should quit. I was at 25,000 subscribers. I could have just hit the pause button, and I thankfully did not, because today you know the reality. Will you continue doing YouTube during your internship? Yes, of course. I'm really looking forward to making vlogs from internship. YouTube is going to be with me forever, most likely, because I really enjoy making videos. Even if there is nobody watching, I'd probably still be making videos because I enjoy the process of creating, and it's one of the things which I really wanted ever since I was a child. I remember being in 7th class and uploading my first video. Never ever did it for the views, did it just because I loved it, and still doing it just because I love it. How much are you earning per month? So this is a recurring question every Q&A. I would say enough to, fulfill everything that I ever could dream of, enough to buy anything that I ever need, and enough to make the people around me, have whatever they want. Yeah, that's basically a good enough answer according to me. I really can't reveal the income because of so the next question is, have you ever had a toxic fan interaction in real life? Yes, I actually had. So I'll just tell you a big story. So I was with my friends in a cinema watching movie, and there was this person next to me. He was sitting all alone, and he was just watching a movie alone. That's perfectly fine. I watch a movie alone a lot of the times every year. He just came up to me and he said, "Are you Anuj Pachhel?" I'm like, "Yeah." And he clicked a few photographs. He included some of my friends in the photograph as well. And later that evening, I got a notification on Instagram that this person had mentioned me in the story. I was like, okay, this guy posted it. And guess what the caption read? So the caption in this story was watching a movie with my best friend Anuj Pachhel, and he did not even follow me on Instagram. So that was a pretty toxic fan interaction, I would say. And he was just basically all the time just trying to click photographs. I was when the movie ended, I was going back downstairs to the parking, and in the escalator he ran and he tried to click another photo with me. I did, because I don't usually say no to all of that. So yeah, that has been one of the toxic fan interactions that I have had in real life, but that is just one incident among the thousands of others which have happened to me, which were positive. So I recently went to a Garba night, and literally in that one particular ground I met 50 different people who were watching my videos. So it felt really nice. And whenever I go out, even in Europe, I met a person who was subscribed to my channel, which was just amazing that my videos have reached so many different corners of the world. What is the most slow phase of MBBS journey? I don't think there was, but I do remember a time in first year where I was sort of having all of these negative thoughts about just life in general. You go through that phase after you are in first year. You feel sad. Most people do that I have talked with. So yeah, that was one of the bad phases. But apart from that, my MBBS journey has been so pleasant. I really love every moment of it, and I'm really sad that it is coming to the distal end, and sooner or later it's going to be over. But I would say to anybody who's watching this, MBBS is literally the best course of the world. I know one of my thumbnails says don't take MBBS, but I'm just saying it genuinely that it is one of the best things that I've ever done in my entire life. No negatives can take that away, because yeah, it's just really beautiful. What all struggles came to you during your MBBS journey? So the first struggle was to actually remember all the different names that we come across in first year, because the terminology is huge and you don't know anything. So the first struggle was that. I think it's a common struggle for all the med students. The first year, terminologies is the one thing that you really need to understand. In second year, I faced a lot of issues with pathology images because I just could not remember them as much. And in third year, I faced a lot of issues with ophthalmology because I again could not understand it. So as far as academic struggles are concerned, these are the ones which were really affecting me. As far as life and in general college life is concerned, I was not really a part of any sort of council or whatever. So my voice was never really heard. And as you start to climb the stairs of success, you will notice that the people who are just with you, example your batchmates, some of them at least, they don't really like that. So they try to actually pull you down. They try to make you feel bad about whatever you're doing. So I remember the early YouTube days where there was this 99% of my batch was with me, but there was this 1% population who did not like anything that I was doing online. They really felt it was not good. But that's going to be there in every single field. You don't have to think about that. So one of the negatives was that I faced some sort of subconscious hate, I would say, in my college itself from that 1% population that I'm talking about. But really, they don't really matter to me at all. So their opinions don't mean anything to me. And one more thing is that there's a lot of politics involved in GMC Nagpur. So if you're trying to come here, know that you have to work a lot to get any sort of position in the college, especially in the student council and all of that. So yeah, that's just all the struggles that you could face probably in MBBS. Otherwise, it's just a very, very fun journey. Is it really important to read gold standard books in all 4 years to understand better? Not really. It's not at all compulsory to read gold standard books. I myself find that in surgery and medicine, if you use the Indian authors, they are much more better than the gold standard books like Harrison or Davidson. And even for surgery, if you read SRB instead of Bailey, then you would feel the same way. At least I'm feeling the same way. So it's not really that compulsory, but it is definitely recommended. The important thing is that whatever book you're choosing, choose it so that whatever thing you're reading from that you could reciprocate in the exam. Because if you just keep on reading and forgetting, it's not going to be of any help whatsoever. So find a book in which you can, instead of reading and forgetting, read and retain. How can you manage university exams and PG preparation simultaneously? So this month I'm totally absolutely preparing for my university exams. So every day, currently I'm in the phase of studying obstetrics. So every day I have a goal that I have to study like 5 or 6 chapters, and instead of just writing down, I have to read chapters, I just write down questions. So postpartum hemorrhage and all of these other things are the goal of today. So I have to prepare those answers today itself so that I could have them ready by the time my university exams come up. And secondly, every evening I solve the question banks as well as give GTs every weekly. So that is kind of also preparing me for the MCQ based for the PG preparation, and the theory part that I read in the morning is completely for my university exam. So that is how I'm able to cover my textbooks, my question banks, my GTs, as well as my notes that I've taken from Marrow, because after doing the GT or doing the question bank, I add those few points to my notes itself. So yeah, that has been it about how I'm managing my university along with my PG prep. What's your favorite moment of your whole MBBS journey? So I feel like my second year MBBS results were the best moment of my MBBS journey, because it was a pretty cinematic thing. I've got 5 exam saga episodes made. So one was 1 week before the exams, the second was exam week, practicals week, post exam, and results. So all of these I was just studying and in the end I got the results what I was studying for. So I think the second year MBBS results are very, very close to my heart. The category 3 is medical college. If you're not allocated GMC Nagpur by any chance, which medical college would you choose? So does that mean that I'm not getting any colleges above GMC? If that is the case, then I would have probably chosen IGGMC Nagpur. Yeah. And if I was getting colleges above GMC, I would have probably chosen KM Mumbai. So yeah, that was actually my second choice after GMC in my this thing. Can we travel the world even if we choose to become a doctor? Will we get time to do so? Absolutely you will. Doctors are sort of rich and they get to travel a lot for conferences, even if they are not very travel savvy by their own. So definitely you get time to travel a lot after your MBBS or your MD or MS is done. There's still quite a lot of time, so don't worry about it. Is first year Anuj different from fourth year Anuj? Yes, very, very much. First year Anuj is very, very calm. The only thing he ever wants in life is to study and study. I remember talking with my friend and telling him like, I feel like Guyton is not really that deep. It is given superficial, and she said to me, what are you saying? Guyton is the best book of physiology. I wanted more. That was my mentality in first year, like as much knowledge as I could gather from all the different sources, and that actually paid off because I did very well in my first and second year. But from third year onwards, I really felt like these academic things, especially for theory, are not at all worth it. Like you could study all day and all night and still get like 80-85% in MBBS, but who's gonna remember that? Nobody. Instead, if you could focus your time and energy into learning clinical skills and actually interacting with patients, that would take you a very, very long way. If you could build a hobby during MBBS and make it into a successful business, you would thank yourself for the rest of your life rather than just studying for those extra few hours, which really won't even matter in the long run, because the NEET PG score is the one thing which is going to decide everything, not what you have read for the theory exams. And we know that the studying for both of them is very, very different. And finally, Anuj is definitely more into learning clinical skills and acquiring clinical knowledge much more than the theoretical knowledge which is given in the books, which is also good, but more inclined towards practical studies much more than first year. The next category is NEET UG. Is it worth taking 3 drops for becoming an MBBS doctor? Absolutely not. I personally think that even after you have done 2 drops, you should stop and try to do something else, because it's the universe's way to try to tell you that there's a lot of amazing opportunities for you out there apart from just revisiting the NEET syllabus over and over again for 4 times. So don't take a drop more than 3 times. It's not worth it in the end. How to handle feelings during NEET prep? Okay, so Funny story, I did not ever have feelings for anybody during my NEET preparation days. My only ever goal was to just study as hard as possible to crack this major exam. And after this exam was done, I got into a relationship, which also ended very soon. No regrets about that also, but I personally feel like if you are a NEET aspirant, then the only feelings that you should be having are feelings towards NCERT, because those are the feelings which are actually going to get you what you want. And to control that feelings, just replace that person with NCERT and direct all your love and attention and hope for them towards this NCERT textbook. Any tips for 9-10 students who are aiming for NEET? More than 10 people have asked this. So yes, 9th and 10th students who are aiming for NEET, don't join a foundation course. It's practically a scam. You are going to learn everything of class 11th in class 11th itself, and it's not going to be any difficult for you. Especially focus on learning physics and chemistry a lot, because those are the things which are really related to the physics and chemistry in class 11th and 12th, as well as bio. Some ways or the other is sort of related, but it's not really compulsory because the bio is a bit different as well as a bit more detailed. So yes, surface level information in biology will suffice if you do read it up very detailed in 11th and 12th. Next is NEET PG/Next, how to avoid burnout during residency. Watch this video by Dr. Darshan Patel. He really explained it a lot. I've also linked a post down below by Freeze the Ward. He's an ophthalmologist. He made a really good post about how to make your residency not suck. So yeah, how do you plan to manage PG prep aside from the upcoming internship? So my main goal is to give a lot of GTs before my internship starts, so that I learn the basic idea about giving GTs, and then as internship starts, my preparation will completely shift towards revising as many times as possible and making all the information go into my head very smoothly. The next category is miscellaneous. How do you read books other than medical? Yes, I'm currently reading Mad Money Journey. It's one of the best books for doctors who are trying to manage their money properly. Is it okay to be single in MBBS if you want to start to be our priority? Yes, it's perfectly fine. Was the recent playlist or song that you like any? Would you suggest listening to it? So the recent song which I'm really infatuated with is The Sound of Silence. It's by Simon and Garfunkel, so you can definitely listen to it. I think it's really amazing. What is your Hogwarts house? So I currently took a test. So it is 35% Gryffindor, 27% Slytherin, 22 Ravenclaw, and 16% Hufflepuff. So I would say I am more than 1/3 a Gryffindor. Yeah, so Gryffindor would be the answer. Your feelings when you were alone in Europe? I was scared because it was the first time I was traveling internationally, and secondly, it was the first time that I was in Europe alone. So 7,400 kilometers away from my home, but it felt so real. I remember feeling very scared the moment I left my house because I was going to be alone, and it was a good type of fear that I felt, but it was amazing. Do you consider yourself successful or still a struggler? I would say this is just the beginning. There is so much more to come, and this is just the start. I'm sorry if I missed your question, but there were so many of them. But thank you so much anyways for 600k subscribers. It really means a lot to me that I'm able to build such a huge audience of people who are interested in one common thing, and that is to be getting better in their lives every day. Until next time, I'll see you in this Sunday. Amazing video coming up, and also smash like on this one. Chalo milta hai. It's your Anuj. I'll catch you in the next one. Goodbye.